Hi everyone, this is Fati Jesus Warriors Club once more, and today's topic is Maccabees, the Hammers of Faith, personal reflection. I'm going to talk about the book of Maccabees that used to be in the regular Bible, but it was edited out of the regular Bible. It talks about Mattathias. Excuse me if I spell it wrongly because I'm used to spelling Matthew, but this one is a bit almost like Matthew. Mattathias. He was a priest in the temple of the Jews, and there was a time when he had a challenge from the biggest empire of that side of that time, the Seleucid Empire of Greece. He put up a resistance and was able to maintain the worshipping of God in the temple. Later, his son took over. His son was called Judas. He was named Judas Maccabees. Maccabees means hammer. And he gained a lot of successes defending the word of God. There was a time when he was helped supernaturally by 5 angels in shiny armor. They protected him as he waged war, and he was successful in all those. Then after a while, Ptolemy of Egypt decided that he wanted to kill all the Jews because they did not worship what he wanted, they did not follow what he wanted. So he took all of them to his capital town to be trampled by elephants. And before they could be trampled on by elephants, the elephants turned against the handlers and killed them. So eventually Ptolemy the fourth decided that the Jews could have their way, they could have their worship in their temple to Yahweh. There are times when people are faced with such a problems also. So there was a time when drums of paranormal or drums of war, the paranormal were going on in a place where I was staying formerly, a big place. It had big houses and it was a big, expensive estate. So one time, Africanized honeybees invaded the house through the window of the master toilet. I went out, I heard buzzing noises, and I went to the toilet and there were bees entering. It was 3 a.m. in the morning, that is when it's still dark. So I had no insecticides. I thought that I had been told before that if you use salt during such occasions, you can be able to get rid of the menace. So I got a packet of salt and splashed the salt over the coming bees. Eventually they turned and flew out. It was in the night. About 2 days later, the same thing happened. I did the same and they left after prayers. I would pray and then splash them with salt. I had a sitting room that had a very big window and a small opening where you could put wires through, TV wires and the rest. You didn't have to make holes through everything. There was just a gap left, a wall along the wall, the window sill. So after several days, they came in through that gap, a swarm. I had the buzzing sound and I went in the sitting room and they were flowing in. I went to the kitchen, but there was no salt. What was there was around a kilo of sugar. So I thought, can the sugar do? I said a short prayer, the bees were still buzzing, black Africanized bees in the night, in the morning, dark hours of the morning, that's 3 a.m. So I splashed sugar over them and the whole window, till the window sill was filled with the sugar. This time they did not fly away. They landed on the window and started going for the sugar. Within a short time, the whole window sill inside was black with Africanized honeybees. They didn't move to any place. So I said a prayer, went and slept. When I woke in the morning, many of them seemed to be having extended abdomens. Some started flying outside, but a few remained, and they died in the house. I started sweeping the sugar, wanting to dispose it, and my son, who has autism, took a handful and put in the mouth. And then I also thought, why am I throwing? And they were. So I also put some sugar in the mouth. There was that temptation. After an hour, his whole body got swollen, his lips got swollen. He rushed to the bathroom, put on the water, and the body was swollen and he was screaming. So the water kept flowing over him. I went there praying. After almost 30 minutes, the body started coming back the way it was. I didn't take him to hospital, it ended there. But then I thought I was not going to dispose of the sugar. I kept the sugar, and the tea that was served to me, I would put in the sugar. And nothing happened. So I went and looked at Luke 10, which said, "Behold, I have given you authority to walk on snakes and scorpions and over all the powers of the enemy. Nothing at all will harm you." I knew it was Jesus in action. Jesus is our fort. If the story has touched you and you want to give your life to Jesus, download the Bible app or buy the Bible. It will fortify you with the power of Jesus. And as I always say, you are the temple and Jesus is your fort. I request you to listen to a Christian song by Christine Shusho, Teta Now and Now Teta Nami. I beg to end there.